Who is really paying the cost for the expansion of the data centers powering artificial intelligence? AI seems to be everywhere these days. Tech companies are spending billions to build new infrastructure to power the boom, and governments are competing to attract that development, hoping it will bring jobs, tax revenue, and economic growth. For normal AI users, these tools seem entirely digital. But for a growing number of people, the impact of AI is anything but virtual.
I can't claim credit for this, but there's a bit of a saying that goes around that AI may live in the cloud, but its impacts are very much felt and seen on the ground.
That's Carla Walker from the World Resources Institute, a global research organisation focused on climate, environment and sustainable development. She says the AI revolution doesn't just exist on our phones or laptops, but mostly in huge data centres. These massive industrial facilities are increasingly becoming the focus of disputes between governments, tech companies and local communities. According to Carla, the debate comes down to this.
I think this is ultimately a question about fairness. Environmental justice asks a simple question, right? It asks who benefits, who bears the burden.
Okay, let's dig into who wins and loses then. If I asked you where ChatGPT or Claude lives, you'd probably say something like the cloud, or I don't know, I probably would have said the same thing. But the cloud isn't really a cloud, of course. It's thousands and thousands of computers sitting inside huge buildings. And those buildings have to be built somewhere. That's where Carla says environmental justice enters the conversation.
Nearly half of the data centers in the US are located in communities already facing above average environmental burdens. And so the innovation that we're seeing through AI shouldn't require some communities to carry more than their fair share of the burden.
Carla's concern is that while the benefits of AI are spread across society, the impacts of the facilities powering it are often concentrated in specific places. And we're seeing this play out across the world, from Ireland to the United States and Chile. There have been protests and legal challenges to data centres. So are some communities paying a higher price for a technology everyone else gets to use? And what exactly are they worried about?
They're looking at and experiencing things like increased energy demand and an impact on and seeing their energy bills rise. They're concerned about impacts around their water or air quality.
Now, taken together, that's quite a list, but while the specifics vary from location to location, it's not difficult to see why some communities are asking whether the benefits outweigh the costs. But Carla doesn't think most opposition is simply about electricity, water, or air quality.
Communities are consistently raising concerns about learning about projects late, confidentiality agreements, not getting enough information, or some uncertainty about long-term impacts.
So in other words, many residents aren't necessarily saying, don't build this. Instead, they're asking why they weren't brought into the conversation earlier. And Carla says that's an important distinction.
I think this pushback that we're seeing isn't because there is something new coming into their communities. I think the pushback is because people are feeling excluded from the decisions that are shaping where they live, work, play, and where they worship.
All right, so this isn't just a fight between local residents and new technology. It's about trust. Do people feel they're being listened to? Do they understand what's being proposed? And do they have any meaningful say before decisions are made? That's become such a concern that some local governments have started hitting the pause button altogether.
What we're seeing is a growing number of local municipalities, and in some cases here in the US states, considering moratoria.
A moratorium is essentially a temporary freeze on new developments. It gives local authorities time to assess the potential impacts, review planning rules, and consult with residents before deciding whether more projects should move ahead.
The strongest projects are usually those that are built with communities rather than just simply within communities.
Now that's particularly important because supporters of data centres argue they bring significant benefits too. Governments certainly seem to think so. Around the world, countries are competing to attract AI investment, hoping it will boost economic growth, generate tax revenue, and attract further investment. Carla acknowledges that point.
AI is creating real value, right? People around the world benefit from new technologies. Businesses are becoming more productive, and there are opportunities for economic growth and scientific innovation. And communities are also benefiting through tax revenue, construction jobs, and infrastructure investment. But I would argue that at the same time, the host communities that where the data center infrastructure is being placed, they often experience the most immediate impacts, right? This greater demand on energy and water systems, as I talked about before, change in land use, noise, pollution.
It's not just communities that are trying to benefit from AI while dealing with its downsides. Many workers are also seeing this powerful technology affect their jobs and livelihoods. Now, across the board, the same question keeps coming up. Who benefits from the AI boom and who bears the burden? For Carla, it doesn't have to be a choice between economic growth and local concerns. It means making sure development happens in a way that communities can trust.
Communities that thrive in this AI era won't necessarily be the ones that built the most data centers, right? The communities that are going to thrive are the ones that build the trust, governance, and partnerships. That's partnerships between local governments and communities. It's also partnerships between developers and communities. These partnerships then can ensure AI infrastructure creates that lasting public value.
The AI boom shows no sign of slowing down. Demand for data centres is only likely to increase. Carla Walker argues that success won't simply be measured by how many facilities get built, but also by whether the communities hosting them feel they have been heard, respected, and included in the decisions shaping their future. Because while AI may seem entirely virtual, its impacts are very much physical. I'm Pablo Folia-Elias. For me and the team here in Berlin, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.